Hi there, today I'm going to talk to you about books that are perfect for bedtime. Let's get started with 10 10-minute stories. This book is absolutely adorable and filled with short stories and fairy tales from all over the world. It has gorgeous pictures. I love how lively the illustrations are. And 10 minutes is the perfect time for a bedtime story. And sometimes I tell my kiddos that they need to get a move on, right? And if they get ready for bed, get those jammies on, and get those teeth brushed, then we'll have time for 2 stories. And that definitely gets them moving. Next up, one of my favorites and one of my boys' absolute favorites is Nibbles the Book Monster. And he is just so precious and he's such a big adventure. And I love that it talks about what he loves to eat. So Nibbles likes to nibble soap and Nibbles nibbles socks. Nibbles chomps on rubber ducks. Nibbles munches clocks. Nibbles loves to nibble toes and Nibbles nibbles hooks. But Nibbles' favorite thing to nibble is books, right? And it's just so cute. Kiddos have to find Nibbles as they go throughout the story, and he ends up diving into other stories. I love that it's got books on books, and we have pages within pages, and there are fairy tales he jumps into, and some of the characters get a little perturbed that he is in their business, and he is taking over their story, messing it up. And it's just so sweet and so fun. And by the end, you'll be ready to figure out if you can capture Nibbles or not and see if you can get the mayhem under control. I really love Nibbles. Next up, a very fun interactive story for bedtime. I say ooh, you say ah. This one is really sweet and it requires a little bit of interaction. So we've got words and actions that they have to coordinate. It's definitely great for silly people. And so my silly boys, this is perfect. Then there's always the word underpants, which gets everybody laughing. And as we go along, there's even more silliness. And this book will have you guys laughing and in stitches and having a great time for that end of the day family moment, even if you've had a really stressful day together. Okay. Next up, the illustrated series is an amazing way to introduce your kiddos to classic stories. We really like illustrated adventure stories at our house, and they have beautifully illustrated pages. So you're reading along in a classic chapter book, but you have illustrations to keep little ones' attention. It's also great for an older kiddo to maybe curl up with before they're going to bed on their own and they have a little bit of independent reading time. This book contains The Count of Monte Cristo, The Prisoner of Zenda, Don Quixote, Three Musketeers, and the 39 Steps. There are several in the illustrated series. Illustrated adventure stories just happens to be our favorite, but there are illustrated classics. There's illustrated horse and pony stories, Prince and Princesses, Shakespeare, and Dickens as well. Okay, and then last but not least is one that we always grab and go for whenever we're at bedtime. And it always seems to fit the bill. And I love Aesop's fables, right? Aesop's stories for little children here, and how it has a, kind of a golden rule or a moral for every story. It has beautiful pictures that really capture their attention. The stories are not long at all. It's maybe a few pages per story. I love that there's multiple stories in this book. Every page or every story gets its title page. It has a little ribbon so you can keep your favorites marked. So right now you can see our favorite is currently the tortoise and the eagle. I think that this is just a perfect way to end the day with little ones and talk about maybe situations that happened with friends that they might think of that go along with these stories. So thanks for joining me for Books for Bedtime. I hope you have a good one.